How long is Dillon Gabriel out? Injury update for Browns QB, Shedeur Sanders impact. The quarterback carousel continues to spin for the Cleveland Browns. At one point, they had 5 quarterbacks all competing for the starting job. Now only one of them remains healthy. Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett were traded, Tyler Huntley was released, and Dillon Gabriel is hurt. It leaves just Shedeur Sanders as the last healthy quarterback on the active roster, adding another layer of intrigue to this franchise's ongoing quest for a capable starter. Gabriel entered the league's concussion protocol during the Browns' Week 11 loss to the Baltimore Ravens, putting his availability in jeopardy for Week 12. The rookie out of Oregon has struggled since taking over as the starter, but head coach Kevin Stefanski appeared willing to keep rolling with Gabriel. Now he might be forced to consider another option. NFL Stats Central, the latest NFL scores, schedules, odds, stats, and more. Here's the latest on Gabriel and the Browns' quarterback situation. How long is Dillon Gabriel out? Gabriel remains in the NFL's concussion protocol, according to head coach Kevin Stefanski. It's a fact that significantly decreases the likelihood that Gabriel can play in Week 12, given the protocol typically means at least a 1-game absence. The rookie would have to log practice time before gaining clearance from doctors, and the initial injury reports don't come out until November 19th. Gabriel has an uphill battle at best if he hopes to avoid missing the Browns' upcoming contest against the Las Vegas Raiders. Is Shedeur Sanders starting in Week 12? Sanders has not been confirmed as the starter if Gabriel can't play. While he is the likeliest option given his place on the depth chart, the rookie struggled in his NFL debut. Sanders replaced the injured Gabriel in the second half, looking to nurse a lead against the rival Ravens. The former Colorado Buffaloes star nearly led Cleveland on a potential game-tying drive in the final 2 minutes, but fell short. Sanders certainly looked the part of a rookie quarterback in his limited action. How long is Dillon Gabriel out? Inside the injury fallout and the shockwaves hitting Shedeur Sanders, no one expected Week 11 in Cleveland to end the way it did. The Browns were supposed to be building momentum, stabilizing their quarterback situation, and quietly preparing to unleash the Shedeur Sanders era whenever the right moment arrived. Instead, the stadium fell silent as Dillon Gabriel, the rookie quarterback who had quickly become the coaching staff's safe option, remained on the turf longer than anyone wanted to see. The image of Gabriel clutching his shoulder, grimacing in pain, and then getting surrounded by trainers hit like a winter gust blowing straight off Lake Erie. Browns fans didn't need a doctor to tell them something was wrong. They've lived through quarterback chaos before. They can recognize the signs in seconds. And now, Cleveland once again stands at a crossroads. The question everyone's asking: how long is Dillon Gabriel out? The Browns haven't given an exact timeline, but early word from the facility paints a picture more worrying than the organization publicly admits. Gabriel's injury is being evaluated as a multi-week shoulder issue, something that could keep him sidelined anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, depending on inflammation and recovery. In other words, Gabriel is not playing anytime soon. Kevin Stefanski said the Browns are taking it day by day, but that's the kind of phrasing Cleveland fans have learned to decode. Day-to-day usually means week-to-week. And week-to-week often means get comfortable, because you're not seeing him for a while. That's the reality hovering over Berea right now. But the bigger storyline, the one that's already taken over every sports show, social feed, and locker room whisper, is how this injury impacts Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback many fans have been begging to see since he stepped foot in the Dog Pound facility. The ripple effect: why Gabriel's injury changes everything for Shedeur. For months, the Browns have walked a tightrope with their young quarterbacks. Dillon Gabriel represented the safe route: quick decisions, low-risk throws, and a style that fits neatly inside Stefanski's structure. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, represents potential chaos and fireworks, a high-upside playmaker with a talent to take over the NFL but with the raw edges that make old-school coaches sweat. Stefanski's hesitation has never been about talent. It's always been about control. And that's exactly why Gabriel's injury throws the entire organizational plan into the blender. The Browns can preach competition and patience, but the truth is simple. When your QB2 goes down and your fanbase is chanting for Shedeur, the pressure becomes impossible to bottle. Inside the locker room, players react. Multiple veterans inside the locker room saw Shedeur return to the huddle after Gabriel went down and noticed something different, not in what he did, but in how teammates responded. Miles told him, "Stay ready. Your moment always comes." One offensive lineman later said privately, "I think guys want to see what Shedeur can do." Shedeur didn't say much publicly. He never does when drama surrounds him, but his body language told its own story.
Calm. Loose.
Unbothered by the storm around him. This wasn't the wide-eyed rookie from week 1. This was a quarterback who has spent months taking hits in practice, studying film, learning Stefanski's nuances, and absorbing every tiny detail needed to be successful at the NFL level. Gabriel's injury didn't just open a door. It widened it. The Stefanski factor. Can he hold off the wave? Stefanski now faces a decision that could define his tenure. Start a limited veteran backup who offers stability and little upside? Or hand the offense to Shedeur Sanders, the most electrifying rookie the franchise has drafted in decades? Up until now, Stefanski's answer has always leaned toward caution. But injuries force clarity. The team's playoff hopes don't have time for conservative experiments or quarterbacks who can't stress defenses. And Shedeur, for all the talk about learning curves and timing, can stress defenses. He can stretch the field. He can extend plays. He can make linebackers bite, safeties hesitate, and corners panic. Stefanski knows it. The locker room knows it. Browns fans absolutely know it. The pressure now exists in a way it didn't before Gabriel hit the ground. Fan reaction. The dog pound has spoken. Cleveland fans are not subtle. The moment Gabriel was ruled doubtful, social media turned into a Shedeur Sanders rally. Memes, highlight reels, throwback clips from Colorado. It was like someone flipped a switch and reactivated prime-time energy in Ohio. No more waiting. Let the kid cook. This is Shedeur's team now. The city seems ready for the moment. Whether Stefanski remains the real question. The Shedeur impact. What happens if he starts? Give Shedeur Sanders a full week of first-team reps, a playbook customized to his strengths, and receivers who trust his timing, and suddenly the Browns become one of the most unpredictable offenses in the AFC. Defenses are preparing for Gabriel's quick timing game. What they might get instead is Shedeur's off-script magic. The Browns' offense could shift into an entirely new rhythm, deeper shots, more mobility, RPO packages, and a level of swagger Cleveland hasn't seen since the early days of their Baker Mayfield resurgence.